Before getting into the video, subscribe the channel and press the bell icon to get notified every time we upload a video. Let us know how loops are used inside a list. So in order to extract some element name or certain elements from a list, we can just use loops. Either it can be for loop or while loop. So suppose we have a list named fruits which contains the element orange, apple, pear, banana, kiwi. So these are the five elements, and now we wish to print all these elements in separate lines, or in other words, we wish to extract some of the elements from the list. Let us first write the code using a for loop. So we can either use a variable or certain name variable. So in my case, I'm using I. So for I in fruits, then colon, print I. So let us run this. Okay, so it is giving every element in different lines. Okay, now let us write the same code using while loop. So we have first initialized I to 0, so I equal to 0. Then after that, while I is less than, we have to just check the length of this list and compare it with I. So we will write I is less than length of fruits. So len function and inside it fruits as the parameter, and then colon. After that write print fruits, and then in the square brackets write I. In the next line write I plus equal to 1. So let us run this code and see what is the output. So we are getting every element printed, and this is how for loop and while loop can be used to extract elements from a list and get printed them on screen. Some might be wondering that can we give a list inside a list? So the answer is yes, we can specify certain list inside a list. So suppose we have a list named matrix which is equal to square bracket and again a list of 1 to 3 comma next list of 4 5 6 comma next list of 7 8 9. Now let me ask you a question. How many elements are there inside this matrix? Pause the video and try to answer this question. I hope you might be getting it right. It is 3 elements inside it. It is not 9 elements inside the list. This is because these 3 are lists and they are participating inside the list as an element. So 1 to 3 is one element of the list. The second one is the 4 5 6, and next is 7 8 9. So in order to print the second list, that is 4 5 6, we will write print then matrix and inside it 1. Now see what is the output. So it is the list 4 5 6. Now if I wish to print the elements 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 all separate, not as a list, so what or how am I going to write the program for that? So we will use two loops here. So what if I use only one loop here? So it will again print the same, that is if I write for I in matrix print I. Now it is giving us the output as 3 separate lists 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 7 8 9. But we don't want this output. We want all the elements of the list within a list to be printed separately. So now we are going to use two loops, that is for loop inside another for loop. So first of all we write for sublist in matrix colon, then in the next line for I in sublist, then again colon, print I. So it will print all the elements in the list. So let us run this, and it is giving us the output as 1 2 3 up to 9. This is how we use two for loops or loops inside a list. Now the list we defined in this matrix variable is called 2D list because it is a list inside a list. If there were list inside a list and then again inside a list, so it would be a 3D list. I hope you are clear with the concept. So now let us see another concept, which is accessing the elements by using their position number. So you might have imagined this matrix list as a 2D list. So first of all, in the first row we are having 1 2 3, then in the second row we are having 4 5 6, and in the next row we are having 7 8 9. So how the index number starts is, it starts with 0 comma 0, that is the first row and the first column will be indexed 0, the next column as 1, and the next one is 2. So how a particular element will be accessed from this list? Suppose we wish to access this 5 from the matrix and get printed on the screen. So we will write print matrix, then in the square brackets write 1 and 1. So we are using two brackets here since this list is distinguished between rows and column. So we need to specify index for rows as well as for columns. Now let us print this and see what is the output. It is giving us 5. Similarly, if we wish to print 7, so we would have written 2 and 0. So let us see what is the output. Okay, so it is giving us 7 is the output. Additionally, there is a function called the type function, which is used to check whether a given variable is a list, a string, or whatever type it is. So how we use it? Suppose we have s which is equal to some string, let's say string, and then in the next line we use this type function as type, then inside the parenthesis s, and then we have to print the type, so we'll write print, and let us check this. So it is of the type class string. And now let us check the same for matrix. So we will write print type and inside parenthesis matrix, and let us run this. So the output is class list. So basically it was a list, so the output we got is of class list. So this is how we can check the type of a particular variable.
If you like this video, hit the like button. Thank you.